Sten gun and an Uzi. If I was going to be armed with one of these two submachine guns, I think I'd probably take the Sten gun.
You said that the Sten gun had only 40 moving parts, roughly, right?
It's like 40 parts total. There's barely any.
That sounds like easy maintenance to me.
Yeah, it's incredibly easy to maintain. No joke. If the recoil spring breaks on a Sten gun, you probably can go find a screen door and rip the spring off of that and shove it into the gun and it'll work.
Didn't you do that? You took a pencil spring or something?
I put like a mechanical pen spring in a Walther P38.
And it worked just as good, huh?
Yeah, it worked fine. Yeah, that'll hold it over until I can get a new spring.
It's really good at filling the enemies with hot lead.
Ah! Ooh! Ooh! Ooh, what you got? What you got here? What you got? Let me turn you over and take a look at this thing. An L96A1? Are you fucking kidding me?
Never heard of that one.
L96A1.
That's got a nice scope on it, I see.
Yes, it does have a nice scope on it. Most people are going to know this thing as the Accuracy International AWP.
Most people wouldn't recognize it in this kind of view, but yes.
Oh, hello.
Okay, just gonna use this gun on him.
Well, they were hostile.
They didn't seem hostile until you shot them in the throat.
Wow, I suck with sniper rifles.
There you
There
go.
we go.
You like that?
What? There's another one. Oh, he's got an AWP too. This is gonna go right in your ear.
You waste them, yeah!
Accuracy International, the company that designed this rifle, was effectively 3 guys in a shed. And they were like, why don't we submit this rifle that we built to the British military rifle trials for a new sniper rifle? So they did it. They didn't expect to win. It won handily. And they were like, oh crap, now we gotta build a bunch of these things. So when the British military sent some requisitions lieutenants out to their shop,
To his garage.
they rented a large shop and then took their entire inventory of rifles they had produced up until that point. And there's only 3 people that worked for this company at the time. So when the requisitions officers showed up, they were like, well, where is everybody? Oh, they're out to lunch. It'll be fine.
Why are we in a 2-stall garage? The rest of the house is out for lunch too. It'll be back in a moment.
Well, no, they had rented out for a day an actual workshop. Had all these workbenches in it, put all the rifles on it in different states. So they showed up and the requisitions officers were happy. They're like, hey, this looks like a really good operation you guys got going here. Let's go out to lunch. So they went out and got lunch. And then while they were out at lunch, the requisitions officers were like, yeah, this was really more of a formality. We just wanted to make sure you weren't 3 guys in a shed. And they're just like, oh my God, we're in so much trouble. Anyway, it ended up getting adopted. And it's a really, really good rifle.
Have you fired one of these guns?
I have fired one of these guns.
Come on! Really?
If it's any World War II gun, they were probably all over the place in Iraq. So it's the PPSH-41. It's a Russian submachine gun.
These guns we've been picking up that you've been spouting about, they were all used by the Allies in World War II?
Yes. So far, we have not found any German World War II submachine guns, which would be the MP-38. I think it's going to be the only one.
Wait, is that the only weapon the Nazis had?
No, they had tons of other ones. Just the MP-38 is like the only submachine gun they technically had.
Okay.
This one does eject all of the shell casings out of the top of it.
Shoots him up?
Yeah, shell casings just pop straight out the top of it.
Into your line of sight?
You don't really notice them when you're shooting it. You do notice them when they come raining back down from the sky and go down the shirt collar.
Yeah, seems like a terrible design. You say people like these guns.
That's one of the primary downsides of it, is that happens.
People would take these guns, fire them sideways gangsta style, and then shoot their comrades with the shrapnel.
You're actually not wrong, because one of the standard practices for these things was to hold it at a 25 or 45 degree angle.
Well, yeah,
in your shoulder, so it goes brrr and spits the shell casings
If you
away.
designed the shell casings to eject straight up, then it just makes sense.
Well, the reason they have it eject the shell casings straight up is because it's an ease of manufacturing.
Hey, should we manufacture a gun that doesn't shoot hot shell casings down the soldiers' backs? We could, but this is so much cheaper!
There was the Sten gun, which was like the British one, and then there was an Australian one, which was the Owen submachine gun, I believe.
The Emu Slayer.
The Owen gun is real weird.
How so?
So you know how you thought it was weird the magazine sticks out of this one?
Does the magazine stick straight out the top of it?
You got it!
Come on, I was joking! You're serious!
Yes, the Owen gun has the magazine sticking straight out of the top.
You're sure you're not making an Australian joke about how the magazine is upside down?
Yes, the magazine sticks straight out of the top, and no, it is not an Australian joke. There's actually a good reason for doing that. A lot of...
Because the gravity flows up?
The reason for doing that is because you don't have to have a super strong magazine spring. Because gravity actually aids in feeding the rounds.
Then why don't they all do that?
Because it means you have to have your sights offset to the side of it.
Oh,
which
yes.
is kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, now that you mention it, it does sound stupid that way.
You're stupid. Shut up. You don't know.
I'm not the one putting a magazine in my line of sight, so I can't see. What if you put crosshairs in the bottom of the magazine? So you could just use it. You'd have to recite it every time you had to reload.
You joke about that, but there's actually a couple pistols that literally just have crosshairs painted on the back of the gun, and you're just supposed to put the back of the pistol on top of the center of the target and hope that you're gonna hit it. What is this bullshit? The fuck is this thing?
You're not familiar with it?
No!
Probably because they made it at home. It's some bathtub moonshine kind of gun.
God, yeah, it looks like it was made at home. Well, except the front sight and rear sight actually look usable. And there's actually some really nice knurling on the back of that end cap.
Knurling?
Knurling. Knurling's fun and expensive. So this is a very expensive homemade submachine gun. So instead of writing overpressure ammunition on the back of every single bullet, they just do a little plus and the P. Because then, at a glance, you can tell what kind of ammunition you have.
What if it's under pressure? Is it negative P then?
No, then it's just ammunition. Excuse me? Is it G36 time? I believe it's G36 time. It's G36 time, Mike. Made by Heckler & Koch, or Heckler & Koch, however the hell you want to pronounce it.
I say Koch. Everyone says Koch.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, pronounce it however the hell you want. You're an American. It's a 5.56 select fire weapon system. Made primarily of polymer, which is interesting and futuristic. Stock folds off to the side. It's one of the first really modular weapons that was adopted by a military. So on the magazine, you see those two little circles that are right there?
Yes.
Those are actually locking lugs, so you can just lock a bunch of magazines together.
Just stack them like Jenga pieces, one after the other?
Yeah, pretty much. They work pretty well. H&K did kind of get in trouble recently. Some of the trunnions on the guns weren't exactly put together properly.
I don't know what a trunnion is.
The piece of metal that the barrel locks into on the inside of the gun. Turned out some of them were kind of crappy, so they had a tendency to start having wandering zeros, which means that every time you would zero it, the zero would completely change and it would start shooting all over the place.
Have you fired one of these?
I have never fired a full auto version, no, but I have fired a civilian version. You can't get an actual G36 in the US because apparently H&K doesn't think that we're German enough to be allowed to own them. So they imported this bastardized version of it that's called the HK SL8, which is atrocious.
Even more so than this gun, huh?
These guns are great.
You just finished telling me how they were not that great because of the
That
parts.
was kind of a problem for the military one, and they were old at that time.
Ignoring all of the defects, these guns are
great. On the
great.
whole, this gun worked amazingly well. For some reason, they made it so that the SL8 takes magazines that look like G36 magazines, but a G36 magazine will not go into it because they converted it to a single stack magazine.
Okay.
So the magazines are not interchangeable. Most of the parts aren't interchangeable. It's got a weird, stupid thumbhole stock that makes it look absolutely asinine. The barrel is super long, doesn't have a flash hider on it.
If this gun is so great, how come I've never heard of it before?
Because you're not interested in guns in any way, shape, or form. I'm gonna use this one.
It looks kind of like the M16.
No, this is the Fabrique Nationale, technically a drum mag, but... Whip. Wiggle, wiggle. We've discussed this. It's an AM-180. Wiggle, wiggle.
Is that how you clear a jam on a
Yeah.
atomic gun? Really? You just wiggle it?
No. Let's go turn this evidence in. Wiggle, wiggle.
And this one.
Come on, come back, come back. Was it a Makarov? Were you shooting me with a Makarov? I don't know how I guessed it that quickly.
Tell me about the Makarov. It's a Russian gun, isn't it?
I can't tell you right now. I'm busy killing.
Come on. That's never stopped you before.
The Makarov is a 9mm Russian pistol, but it's in a different 9mm caliber.
Wait, there's different 9mm?
Yes! The Makarov is in 9x18 Makarov, not 9x19 Parabellum, which is the normal 9mm round.
Come on, really?
Yes, there's also 9x21. There's 9mm Largo.
There are so many different kinds of ammo. Can you standardize?
Well, it's been about 3 inches.
Why are you so short, my man?
What the fuck?
I'm not short, puton. What are you talking about, short?
Oh shit.
Hey, puton.
This
You want to say
guy's
that
looking
again?
a little-
Apologize. Kiss his shoes.
That's right. Kiss my shoes, puton.
They were the toughest ones on the block, I swear. All the other D-boys had nothing on them. And they really knew a thing or two, let me tell ya. This here's our story. A story of our own deceit, our own finesse, our own great escape.
All right, everyone. So here's the plan, okay? I got some contacts in the foundation. All right? Don't tell anyone. I trust you. you guys. I got some contact. I'm gonna contact them up, and they're gonna try and sneak us out. Is everybody understood?
Yeah.
I need one thing from you guys, though.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Just one thing. I just need one thing. All right? Don't piss the guards off, okay? I'm on their good side. It took me a couple weeks, but I'm on their good side, okay? Hey, what's up,
Yeah.
Puto? How you doing?
Alright, we got it taken care
You
of.
doing good?
Short. He's so
What do you mean I'm short? The fuck do you mean I'm short, Puto? Guy,
Don't go that way.
hold my bandana, Guy. I'm about to beat his ass. Hold my bandana.
Get out of the way.
Oh my god, he's so
Take my
large.
bandana, Puto.
Yeah.
He's
Take
so
my bandana.
You call me short one time.
He's huge.
I'm gonna have a problem with you, Puto. Listen, I'm
Andre
cordial
the
to all the
Giant
guards,
wasn't-
but
didn't actually
if you're gonna
die.
insult me like that, we're gonna have problems, huh? You want this?
I love you,
This is the
man.
one,
Come
two.
on. No, man, no.
Hey, Mr. Ham.
All right.
Mr. Ham.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna.
Mr. Ham, I'm right here. All right, Mr. Ham. Yeah.
Just look for the one you can't see over
listen.
everyone else.
You remember I was talking about the paintball guns?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I mean,
we had to get.
Something like
You just call me Bob, Puto?
Why you
You just call me Bob? Huh?
All right.
Hey, get him.
Judge.
Get him, Puto. Fuck him up.
You gotta.
Spit on his corpse. Move aside. Move aside. Fuck this motherfucker. Hey, you call me bald one more time. I'll take you straight to the med bay myself. All right, guys, listen. We need to go back to the front, and we need to tell the guards that we were playing paintball. Okay? Quick,
Oh,
quick, quick!
God.
Before they send in more assistance. Hey, come in.
Yeah.
Okay, listen. You got hit by the paintball, okay? You got hit by the paintball.
You might need a
Hello?
medic for your
I'm hurt.
balding.
Oh, he's hurt.
I'm hurt.
What'd you just say?
I said what I said. All right, sir. So we're gonna go and get you resolved, all right?
Yeah.
We have about a 25% survival rate in the med bay, so
Wait,
you're looking at a pretty high
25%?
chance. That's
25?
correct. It's the highest percentage we've had.
That's considered pretty high.
We'll be fine.
That's
For Guy.
Some colossal. You can leave. You can leave.
Guy, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
all right. That test is gonna take about 30 minutes before we get a
Where's
result.
that D-class? That was huge.
Excuse
Excuse me, I gotta get my toe checked out. You guys don't want to see this thing. I got an ingrown nail. I got everything.
Make sure you transport them back, all right?
Oh my god.
Yes,
I don't know,
sir.
it's one
Yes,
of those
sir.
new medics we got. I don't know. He just arrived.
All right, you have fun, Kyle and Benteo. I
Yes.
We're trying to
We're
work on
gonna
you,
get our
buddy.
checkups done. Oh,